Everything's looking good here. All right. Very good. Beauty. All right, let's get it started. Paint on this guy. Keep it in frame and keep it from getting too blurry. All right. So, just getting my primary colors on. And I'm using a slate gray. Painting Swooping Hawks. Anyone else have any other armies they're painting? What's everybody working on today? Just put it in the comments. Get under his knee there. There we go. Stay in frame though. Getting a little bit of paint everywhere. There we go. All right. Clean the brush. All right. Welcome. Good day, everybody. Painting some Swooping Hawks, trying to make sure this can get this working. Zooming in and out too often. Basically, we're going from this to that, step by step. So I'm starting with some slight gray. What is everybody else painting at this moment? Or what's everybody working on? That's all good. All right, I think we got all his arm. Yep. Leg, a little touch up there. Always enjoyed Swooping Hawks. Always so pretty. Fortunately, they just got recently nerfed for a group of 10. But you can still grab them in groups of 5. A few little smaller squads to be a pain elsewhere on the battlefield. My resin Swooping Hawks before the refresh. Got a box of refreshed ones that I'll eventually get to, but I don't like the look of these ones, and lucky enough to be able to score a box just before the refresh. So that's what we're painting today. Pretty Swooping Hawks. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. And then just our main color. Good day, eh? Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout. Hopefully you're able to work on some miniatures this morning. At least that's what it is here. some Swooping Hawks done. Even though they did just get nerfed, so that's okay. I love Swooping Hawks, they're so nice. One of the more prettier ones. Like Dark Reapers are not much to them, except really big guns. But everybody working on. Alright, I think I got all the dark gray that I want. Maybe just a little bit of touch up. I really don't like that there, but it's fine. I'll be the only one who notices. Okay. Touch this up a little bit. To get right in there. Okay. I think that's good for now. All right. Dark slate gray. Let's start with the cool gray. Okay. More of this cool gray in there. Get this in there. Don't frame. Yep. Okay. Beauty. Right in there. Oh. Docking into the void. Get back into frame, damn it. There we go. Now if we could just focus for itself. You know. Clean that up on the way back. All right. We got the other leg plate. Beauty. Spot I missed. Dark by the kneecap. Got in there, yep. There we go. All right, let's get back to the wings. this other one. Come on. There we go. Go back and clean up on some of these items. Okay. Let's get some more touch-ups. Oh, I forgot his other foot, eh? There we go. Touch up this arm and chest plate. Good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout or Hobby Hangout, Painting Hangout, Building Hangout. Be whatever we want it to be. Today I'm painting Swooping Hawks. Get that. Stay in focus. Stay in focus, man. Everybody working on this weekend. I'm obviously working on Swooping Hawks. So funny. Okay. Make sure we can still stay in frame. Still in frame, yep. Putting on my main colors here. Started with a slate gray, now working with a cool gray. Gray is cool. All right. The frame. We got that one, yep. There we go. Good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies. Just painting a Swooping Hawk today. What's everybody else working on? There bad these guys got nerfed, but Eldar get hit as bad as some of the others. The balance update, which is nice because Eldar always gets a hit. At least this time it wasn't so bad. Just an increase in points for I think 10 Swooping Hawks. Once I get these ones painted, I'll finally have 10. They're my old resin Swooping Hawks before the refresh. Really like these ones, so really trying to get an order in for the refreshes and manage to score a box. My other ones are metal Swooping Hawks. I've got metal Swooping Hawks, metal Scorpions, metal Banshees, a whole set. Squads of 5 though. So I've got some of the plastic ones, and we'll eventually get to those too. All right. We got the slate gray, cool gray. What's next? I think we're going to prep for our yellow. Oh, wait. No, not just yet. I want to... Some of that slate gray didn't do his hands. Get there. Name frame. These are not being displayed painted. These are just table ready. Die way too quickly. Table display ready. Or display painted, I should say. Most figures should be just table ready, because they're going to be there and then they're going to be gone. And if you want to play with an actual full army, the display standards is going to take you a while to get 1,000, 2,000 points. And what if you wanted to play a good match at like 4,000 points? Oh, that'd be big. It'd be huge. 4,000. My biggest battle was 2,500, I think. Oh. So yeah, my old Swooping Hawks are painted in the old blue and yellow. These ones got some turquoise and some yellows, but more grays. They're the blue. Saw this paint scheme. It was in a white dwarf many years ago. And by many years ago, I'm talking 30 years plus. So, way back in the day. All right. I'm happy with it so far. All right, let's prep for our yellow. So, we've got some warm yellow. But before we touch the warm yellow, we're going to put on a bit of pale pink to prep for it. Any of you have ever painted with yellow? Yellow is always a pain. You need to make sure you've got the proper base for it. And it makes the yellow so much easier. Usually if you can get a light gray, depends how you want to, how much of a yellow punch up that you want. I want a real punch up, so going with a real pale pink. You can go for a really light gray, kind of a bright neutral gray maybe, or even ivory would be nice. But I want it to really pop, so I'm going with a pale pink. So I'm just going to do his kneecaps here. So we got full coverage. All right. Got the other kneecap. Some difficulties trying to stay in frame while keeping it focused. Technology is great when it works. Go. This little bit yellow. There we go. We got the little bits here. All right. Point it out. Caps there. All right. The wings too. You know, working. Down there. Frame, yep. Beauty, eh? go. And now the other part of the wing. Okay, good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout. I'm just painting some Swooping Hawks, or Swooping Hawk, singular. So putting some pink on this guy. Why pink? Because we're gonna basing it for getting it ready for some bright yellow. Make all the difference. Painting yellow on black, you're gonna sit there painting coat after coat after coat after coat after coat after coat, and no faster way than to get frustrated, eh? Supposed to be a hobby, supposed to be fun, enjoyable. So we take out the pink, or you can use a light gray. You can also use a white too. White could be nice, but this pale pink just pizzazz. Well, bam. Show you in a bit. Making sure we got some good coverage on these pinks. There we go. Right. Gotta do the mask guard. Brush I'm using is the 1. It's usually my workhorse. Do pretty much a good portion of the mini in 1. Especially when basing on all my primary colors, or my regular colors, I should say. Colors on what I want to do for them. And usually, once I get into the highlighting, whoop, got a little dot there. Let me show you a little trick. You get a Q-tip and just wet it down, just the tip, right off a little bit. Just go in there and wipe it right off. Now, granted, it wipes off the rest of the paint, but hey, I'd rather wipe off the rest of the paint and not have that mistake. And then just come back in and like having a magic eraser on hand. There we go. All right. Today, I'm painting Swooping Hawks. Almost got some of the colors in there. Now to get this blue-gray, just a little different. No one really has that color, so what we're going to end up using is a dark sea Ben with a mix of turquoise. Now, let's make sure I can get the right mix this time. Took a while the last time. I got too dark. What's everybody working on today? Fine Sunday. Clean turquoise drop right there. All right. Good mix there. All right. There we go. See how it looks like on the shoulder. Oh, may have nailed it. Well, I hope so, considering I've already done 4. Should have been able to figure out an exact proper mix. Figure out how to be able to get in there without the blocking the camera. Let's get in there. The hard parts first. And all the easy parts make it easier. Part getting close to the eye without hitting the eye. Come in with another coat. There we go. Even with a 1, you can get into those tiny spots. Surprised at how big of a brush you can actually get up to. I used to always try to get the smallest brush, and then I had the biggest problems trying to get into certain areas. Oh, I missed the spot right there, eh? Back on that one. Beauty. Okay. Good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout. Painting some Swooping Hawk here. One of the older resin model kits. Just before the refresh. Compared to the old metal ones, these ones looked really cool and I wanted a set, so managed to score one before the refresh. Glad I did. Swooping Hawks were one of the primary aspect warriors that really got me into the Eldar, or the Eldari now. What's everybody working on this weekend? in there. Right in there. Okay. There we go. I think we got most of that. I'll just leave that light gray. I want to get back to before I forget. Only partial. I think so. Gonna need my cheating glasses soon. Get that slate gray back in there. All right. Get these wings done. Go. Beauty. There we go. Get back in the frame there. All right. Looks a little flat, eh? This is the ugly cycle. In the ugly phase. All models face it, but trust the process, they say. Trust the process. We'll get there. All right, I just want a little bit more of the pink. Look at these little dots. outside one and the middle one. My apologies, still trying to learn how to paint on camera. Takes practice, I guess. Just keep doing it. There we go. All right. Beauty. Oh, wait, there's a little bit of that pink I want to get on his beak again. Face plate. Beauty, eh? All right. Now you want to see how that yellow kicks in. I'm definitely excited. All right. Now we're going to come in with that warm yellow over that pink. It's going to really pop. Huge. All righty. Okay, watch on the knee plate. Bam. Really pops. And there's just one coat. I don't have to sit there with zillion coats on top. Really pops. I really like that. Show you on the wings here. Beauty. That yellow in there. All coming together now. Let's get that other knee plate. Everybody's working on this weekend. Age of Sigmar, kill teams. Major army battles going on. There we go. Really punches. It looks good. We'll get the beak in. There we go. Beauty. Oh, yellow's gorgeous. Really pops. All right, let's get inside the wings. little touch up on the top of his helmet there. Get some pink back on. Beauty, eh? And now it's all coming together. The other side of the helmet, it needs a little bit of touch up. Let's quickly do that. There you go. Touch up at the end or touch up as you go. I try to touch up as I go because as you find certain items, you don't want to forget and come back. Beauty. There we go. Let's get that yellow on the helmet. Beauty. As I was at it, I should have. The other dots. Okay. Good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout. Working on some Swooping Hawks. There we go. There's some old resin Swooping Hawks before the refresh. We got go back on the yellow just a little bit more just to clean up. But again, this yellow is really popping with that pink underneath. Use the pale pink. We got it to pop. Again, I can't say it enough. I love how this yellow comes out. Just beauty. Done with the yellow, I think we'll be able to start highlighting. Beauty. All right. thing. Slowly come together. All right. Let's get down to a smaller brush. Actually, before I start that, I gotta get my cheating eyes on. Sometimes I can do it without, but once you get older, eyesight starts to go, and with these smaller little guys, it becomes a heck of a lot harder. All right. Beauty. Remember to keep staying in focus. There we go. We'll start the highlight. Anyone have a favorite aspect host? Excuse me. Yeah. In focus. Side of the brush. Get into the areas to highlight. All right. There we go. Oops. Stay in frame. Stay on target. There we go. All right, a little bit more on his helmet. This gets touchy. Down to a glaze. So you'll notice that the drops become bigger when my brush leaves the model. You don't want to brush forward, see, and then it pulls up at the top and pull down because I want it to blend, but I want it to be stronger close to his eyes and beak. So we pull down towards it, and it'll always pull where you take your brush off. Something to keep in mind when you glaze. So we'll need to come back. That's good for a first run there. Excuse me. Let me try to get a cough drop so I'm not coughing all the time. Nothing worse than coughing in people's ears. All right. Yeah, before we finish off, I noticed I also forgot the tip of his gun. I want that in the dark blue gray. So let's get in there. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to do, actually, since we got that tiny brush for it, let's get some pink in his eyes. Obviously, it'll be a red, but again, help the red really pop. Help if I stay on frame. So many say that you should hold your breath when doing tiny items like this. I disagree. So what happens when you hold your breath? Try holding your breath for 10 seconds or even 20. And tell me how your body feels. Body feels even more stressed. Why is it more stressed? Because it's got lack of oxygen. What you need to do is to slow down your breathing and control your breathing. Because if you hold your breath for 20 seconds, your heartbeat's going to kick it up a notch. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get a little bit of shakes and whatnot. So it's always better to control your breathing. All right. So again, we've gone from black to it's coming along. Now let's start highlighting the light gray. So the grays, we started with a slate gray, then a cool gray. Now we're going to go with the bright green blue, which is a bit of an odd color, but it really makes the light gray pop out. And then obviously with the yellow, we'll then come back to pale yellow for a highlight on that. So good day. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Hobby Hangout. Plan to do these every second Sunday and every second Thursday. Gonna help anyone who wants to be able to hang out, paint hobbies, build hobbies, paint miniatures, and do it. Good way of getting your stuff done. We all have that pile of shame, so let's work together and get it done. Again, these are not being displayed. It's just getting tabletop ready. That's all that counts. As long as you can play with them, as long as you're happy with them. So all that counts is being happy with what you got. And they're your models. Paint them in any way you shape, way, or form. As long as you're happy with how they look. And it don't matter what nobody else thinks. All right. Okay. Get in there. What's everybody else working on this fine weekend? Debating with myself, trying to figure out what I want to do once I get these guys done. What's next? Got some Jukari I can probably pick up. Don't know if I'm ready for the time commitment to get Lilith done. So, undecided. Got some witches I can also paint. Again, for my Jukari force. Got Althran. Again, that's another leader. I need to paint more to display standard. Big commitment trying to paint a character. Takes away. It's a huge time investment. My Avatar Kane took 35 hours. But he's a beaut. Did that over Christmas holidays last year. Granted, we came down with COVID over the over the holidays, and couldn't really go out and do much, so I got to paint. Yeah, state. There we go. Highlights done. We'll get in there with the highlights for the yellow. Beauty. Too thick. You know, I got all the light gray. Oh, some on this foot. we go. All right, now let's start with the highlights for our yellow. Get some pale yellow in there. More than a dot. All right. Frame. Still learning how to paint with a camera. Just a matter of practice. Everybody working on this weekend. There's a few working on. Everybody working on this. On a few. Should be getting Kill Team Tomb World Monday. Exciting. Don't have any Necrons, so it'd be nice to paint something different. All right, let's highlight these wings. all done. All right, the inside of the wings. There we go. Little areas to touch up here. Drastic. Beauty. Oh, yes. There's always little bits and pieces you're going to miss. As it happens. Paint all of his knuckles the same color. At least for the time being. Let that dry. Two of them's got to be yellow. Okay. Get some gold in there. So. Some light gray to highlight the fingers. Again, stay in frame. There we go. Go. Back of the tubing. Stay in frame. My apologies, still getting used to this. All right, a little bit more gloss, glazing. All right. No. My magic eraser. If I fudge someplace, wet a little Q-tip and wipe it right off. Granted, you wipe everything else off, but at least you got it off. And start all over. Let's try that again. There we go. A bit more highlight to those fingers. Side of it done. The yellow in there. Bam. Beauty. Used up more water than I anticipated. That's okay. Got another item here. In case. All right. I think we're ready for the gold. Actually, let's start with the red and then the gold. So we got red for the eyes and the jewels. So we're going with the bold little red. Beauty of a red. Very close to Army Painter's pure red. So we'll start with the jewel. A lot of red on that brush. There we go. There we go. Now let's get in there. Excuse me. Get in there and get the eyes done. I'll load up your brush, but not too much. Come on. There you go. Stay focused. There you go. Boom. Eyes. Now, just put the red. And then if we wanted to, we could just put a pink dot in the top corner of each. Just like that. Just a little bit more brush. See, with just the dot, it's tabletop ready. You don't need to do the extra shading and the this, the that, and then the yellows, and then the red yellow, and then a bit of an orange, and everything else. You could, but it's at your own peril. My characters, I will do it, but not for my table. My regular guys, no, they die too quickly to put in that much effort. Which is, I think they're great and pretty. Bit of yellow at the bottom. Slowly climbing up the side. And then again, just a dot of white, or the pink, sorry. Pale pink. Looks pretty sharp. And that's all you need for a tabletop. Not others who are sitting there going, all these different colors. They're impressive, they're nice. If you just want to get your guys out on the board. Because again, if you're painting 2,000 points, it's going to take you a long time if you're going to be painting at that high a level in order to get them onto the board or onto the table. So, all right, I think we're ready for the gold now. Let's get with some gold. So we're going to go with some Army Painter Fanatics Bright Gold. These ones will put away my good brushes and we'll take out my synthetics. Get the paint out of the nozzle. Problem with the dropper bottles, if you don't give them a nice good tap after you poured out your paint, Next time you open it, they're going to throw up all inside the lid, and it's got a mess all over the place. So, as if it's a low, you're creating a low pressure when you're pouring out your paint. Paint starts to block the entrance, and all of a sudden the paint's going to want to spill right out. So the next time you shake it, it's going to be already stuck up on top of the paint and at the top of the dropper bottle, and then all of a sudden it's just going to all inside your lid, make a mess, and you're going to wasted paint. Oh, nothing worse than wasted paint. All right. There we go. Gonna need another coat, second coat after. My apologies for the cameras. I'm working with webcams. I'll make the best of what I got. Anyone's got any tips on distance and auto zooming or autofocus, all the better. I got some gold there on his leg. No more. Q-tip to the rescue. All right. Ooh, that's a lot on that brush. Let's get rid of some of there. Let's spread around what we got on there. All right. Get inside without affecting the rest. Beauty. And very carefully. On his arms. I don't want to do that. Some more there. This is why I like this item here, because it gets rid of your dirty water, so you can actually clean your brushes with metallics and regular paints. This one here is just water. There's no Don't want to be mixing my metallics in there. All right. There's just a little bit of touch up on this bottom part of the gun here. Excellent. I think we're good with the gold. Oh no, wait. Ah, yes. Wanted to do in the back. A little bit of gold in the backpack. Part of the back. There we go. Ooh, and then on the top, that's a tight squeeze. Beauty. I'll take it. Okay. Now it's left. The red on the gun. All right. And for the red, did I use yellow or the white? I used the yellow for the highlight. The yellow. Just a slight touch. Booyah. Just like that. The glazing didn't turn out too bad either. On top of his helmet. That one's a little bit darker from a helmet perspective, but looking good. Beauty. Oh, one spot with the gold I missed on the pipe. Get in there. Gold. Getting everywhere where you're not supposed to. we go. Beauty. A little bit more water there. Beauty. Last but not least, well, not necessarily last. Oh, one, yeah. Back to the gold. I gotta do the trim around his gemstone. This is where the curve on your synthetic brushes come into play. You can easily hook in there and get in there. Very carefully. Gentle touch. Okay. Get a little bit more touch up there at the bottom. See there? Beauty. All right. Almost done. Right. Side by each. Beauty. So what we need is black lines on his faceplate. And we'll paint the base. That's right. Just finish off on time. All right. You can partially see awfully bright. Nope. Here go the yellow. Kind of see it better as the white. Awfully bright. See the better. Not sure what's better. Let me know in the comments. Make the adjustment for the next stream. But, all right. With the black, you want to do a couple of lines. Then get right in there and just get her done. You need to hold your breath when you're going in. You hold your breath, your heart is going to start pumping even harder. Lack of oxygen, and it's going to be even harder for you to keep your hands steady. Got to control your breathing. Oh, looks good. Beauty. Welcome to C7 Hobbies Painting Hangout. Trying to get more of our armies done. Happy to join and paint along with us. All right. So we got most of that all done. Last but not least, we'll just get the start painting the base. We won't be able to complete the base today. And did some old school for the base. Green with some sand. Painted the sand green and then did some wet blending with some yellow and then added a couple of tufts and blam. Tabletop ready. Faster and better than you know it. So start with the camo green. I do have still some goblin green from back in the day. Don't have much left. Let me see if I can get to it. The cameras. I get in there. Yes. What I got left of goblin green. Just a little bit left. This time I used camel green. Just tried something a little bit darker on some of my Swooping Hawks and I actually kind of liked it. So finish them off with that. Okay. Get them off the base stand. Painting handle. All right. I don't need my cheating eyes for this, but no. Good layer there. I don't like to do too many multiple layers of on the base. We're not going to paint the whole inside of the base because again, we're going to be covering it with some sand. No need to waste paint on that. We do need just around the edges. Look good. Sure looks even. There we go. Beauty. Let that dry. Then we'll get some sand. Again, we'll use some white glue. Use some of your old brushes and spread it on top there. Then water down some paints when you paint over sand. You don't want to use just your good paint, so got some other older paints that I'll water down. Try to come up with a mix, very much like I did, with this guy here. Different shade. Then some wet blending of some yellow. Then add a couple of tufts. Bam! Tabletop ready. All looking good. What time is it? 49. All right, so we're going to let that dry, and then I'll put the base together and finish it up. Again, my apologies for the camera. Still first stream, still getting used to filming on camera. Plus, I'm only using some webcam, so using what I can to try to get things to work. So originally we went from a black, all based up Swooping Hawk, all the way to a completed, as like the previous ones, all nice and done up. These are gorgeous. Love these colors. Really, really nice. That yellow just really pops. So, thank you for those who dropped in. My apologies. But again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Thanks so much.